like I said, it's that time of the year when companies will launch their new products or they will offer discounts because they believe that people buy only during festive seasons. But my question is, who gets Diwali bonus? Now, we were really sick and tired talking about the new iPhone 6s. So we asked Sahil to buy one for himself and he obliged very humbly. So putting everything to rest, no more iPhone talk. Here is our heavyweight boxer Sahil with his iPhone 6s Plus review. Take a look.
So how do you regain the title of the world's best smartphone? I bet Apple hasn't faced that problem in the last few years. Fortunately, earlier this year, Samsung happened. They launched the Galaxy S6, which totally took the battle to the iPhone 6. If you look at the big screen segment, Samsung's Note devices just dominate, and they are arguably the best devices out there. This year, Apple has come back. They have a new device. Apple claims everything has changed out here. They talk about a new technology that may change the way we use our smartphones. So let's find out if the iPhone 6s Plus can take the battle to the Galaxy Note 5 and win the title of the world's best big screen smartphone. Apple's iPhones are really known for their displays. They're known to have color accurate and beautiful displays. And the new iPhone 6s Plus is no different. It's got this massive 5.5-inch canvas, it's got a full HD resolution, and it looks really crisp and sharp. It's using a new type of display technology, a pressure-sensitive display technology it calls 3D touch. With the 6s Plus, what we can do is apply a bit of pressure to this camera icon. And then we have this contextual menu here, which works like a right click on a PC. And here we can cycle through options. We can take a selfie, we can take normal video, we can take a slow motion video, or we can take a normal photograph. This works across a lot of apps. Say you're inside the mail app and you just want to cycle through your mails. You really don't want to go through all of them. You just want to see what's important, what's not. So we can gently press this mail and it will peek. So you can peek and you can flick it up to quickly reply to it, or maybe you would like to pop into the mail. So you can press harder and you're popping into the mail. This works really well. Right now, this functionality isn't baked into every app. If you look at Instagram, it's a very good example of an app optimized for 3D touch. So I just press and hold and this contextual menu pops up, and I don't need to cycle through the entire Instagram interface, which is a little convoluted. I can just choose the option, so I can just view my activity out here, and boom, I'm there. For the first time in years, the iPhone camera gets a big resolution upgrade. By that I mean, now there's a 12 megapixel camera in lieu of the 8 megapixel camera that was there on the iPhone for a couple of years. In the case of the 6s Plus, there's also optical image stabilization, which will help keep photos steady and blur free. On the front, you get a 5 megapixel camera, but there's also a cool trick that Apple has employed. It's able to light up the screen like the rear flash, so it's going to give a big advantage to the iPhone camera in terms of selfies as opposed to phones like the Galaxy Note 5. It also adds 4K video for good measure, so overall it's a really good camera phone. It's kind of a stalemate between the Galaxy Note 5 and the iPhone 6s Plus, to be honest. Apple is using a new type of aluminium which is used in aircrafts, and it is tough as nails. It's really solid, but that also increases the weight of the phone. Now the phone is a really bulbous 192 grams and it's really heavy. Now the one area where the iPhone 6s Plus completely blows away the Galaxy Note 5 is sheer performance. According to certain benchmarks, the iPhone 6s Plus is as fast as a 2-year-old MacBook Air, and that is completely amazing. Even if you look at gaming, first of all the best games come first to the iPhone, and the graphics are just out of the world. You'll see no stutters, no lags, and they will be as beautiful as, say, a Xbox 360 console. And the battery life is really good. You get around about 30 hours of battery life out here on the iPhone 6s Plus. The new iPhone 6s Plus is going to leave you in a bit of a dilemma. Here's the problem. 82,000 bucks for a phone with 64 GB of memory is just crazy. You shouldn't be paying that much of money out here. The problem is the pricing. The variance is 25,000 bucks. For that money, you can get the OnePlus 2. Beat that. And that's where the iPhone loses its plot.
Well, there's no doubt iPhone is still a very good looking device, but there are other companies who are trying to put in a lot of effort in terms of design, you know. We have the new Vivo V1 Max. It's a good looking smartphone, and here is the review. Now, when it comes to buying an iPhone, it's simple. You have to decide whether you want to buy the new iPhone or the old one. But when it comes to buying an Android phone, well, it's like picking up one sari out of the 100 saris a shopkeeper uncle has put on display. I take my mom out shopping. You should do that too. So we have another smartphone for you. It's an Android smartphone that falls in the sub 20K category. It's from a Chinese company called Vivo, and this is the Vivo V1 Max. Talking about the looks, I'll come to the display later, but design, it looks good. They've used metal and plastic in right proportion and in the right places, because when things are in the right proportion and at the right places, people take notice. So yes, in the looks department, it feels good, looks good, but does it work good? That's exactly why I'm here, and I will tell you more about it. Vivo V1 Max with a 5.5-inch screen and 720p display offers a pleasant viewing experience. Did I say 720p? Well, yes, it's just 720p. But it's not that you can't see anything. Just max out the brightness. It's simple. Otherwise, the icons look neat, the videos look good, web browsing isn't a pain. But then for a price of 21,980 rupees, you would want a 1080p display. In fact, you deserve it. Moving straight to the performance now. The phone is powered by a Snapdragon 615 octa-core processor clocked at 1.4 GHz, and it's paired with a 2 GB of RAM. With this combination, you will face no problems in terms of performance. Multitasking, gaming, web browsing, everything worked seamlessly. The iOS-inspired UI called Fun Touch OS 2.1, which is based on Android Lollipop operating system, looks decent. There are lots of nifty features present which you can figure out on your own, but something will take time to figure out. Coming to the camera, the 13MP camera at the back clicks good enough pictures in daylight, which is obvious, but it's good. The colors look natural, details are intact, and sharpness is alright. Low light pictures aren't that good though. Grains are quite prominent. The 5MP front-facing camera does a decent job though. Nice coffee, but I've had better. So, verdict time. The Vivo V1 Max is a good looking phone. The company has really put in a lot of effort in terms of designing it, and it shows. Good job. Talking about the performance, you have the Snapdragon 615 along with 2 GB of RAM, and it has done well. From the last 3 weeks that I've been using the phone, I haven't faced any major problem whatsoever. The 13MP camera does a decent job. The battery, it will last you the day. As it is, we have to charge a phone twice. So with that, like I said in the beginning, the world of Android smartphone is like the world of saris. For the price of 20,000 rupees, sir, madam, you have OnePlus 1 ki sari, you have the Moto X Play ki sari, and you also have the Mi 4 ki sari. And now here is the Vivo V1 Max ki sari. So which sari will you pick? Now my colleague Rohit is a very fit, active and very agile, you know, but only in the virtual world, and that's where he likes to be, because that's where he kills me. Yeah. So this week he's playing basketball, NBA 2K16, and here is his review.
I gotta hold down the city. Gotta let you know where I come from.
It's not easy making a basketball game. The unique tug-of-war game that is basketball rarely translates very well to the virtual arena. Many developers have tried to put their spin on the formula, like the super fun, arcadely goodness that is NBA Jam.
From the corner. Ludacris going in on the verse, 'cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now. Keep your hands
Visual concepts, on the other hand, have gone for a more sim-like approach with 2K16, and for someone like me who's new to the series, the game feels very welcoming. The presentation of the game really helps set the tone early on. All the players are modeled after their real-life counterparts, and the detail in faces and animations are top-notch. There's commentary during the game, but as with many sports sims, it does get a little repetitive. This year, career mode is bolstered by the talent of Hollywood auteur Spike Lee, and while the story is completely predictable and contrived, it's nevertheless a welcome addition. To see your character rise from a nobody to an NBA pro is satisfying and well put together. It isn't without flaws though.
The style. You could be inspiration.
There are occasionally long cutscenes that you have to wait through. The gameplay itself is super tight. Thanks to the physics engine, each player to the team has its unique strengths and weaknesses, making it important to rely on the entire team. The AI also isn't easily fooled by spammable moves. Try one plan of attack a little too much and you will get cut down quick. The game also has an online mode where you can go head to head with other players in 2 vs 2, 3 vs 2 or 5 vs 5 matches. There's also Pro-Am mode that lets players bring their custom characters to create a unique team to take on other players. There are some flaws with the game that keep it from being perfect. On the PC, which is where we received the game, 2K16 is boggled down by a lot of performance issues. The Pro-Am mode is also laggy in our time with it, but that could also be chalked down to the internet connection at our disposal. The biggest complaint that we have are the microtransactions that help you max out character abilities by paying real money. I mean, where is the fun in that? On the whole, 2K16 surprised me. It's a fun game that you can invest countless hours into. Isn't that what matters the most?
I get mine and make no excuses, waste of precious breath.
As we told you, Sahil has got himself the new iPhone 6s Plus, and we just showed you his review, and now he wants to tell you 5 reasons why you should buy an iPhone, because these days you have to give people 3, 5 or 10 reasons to do things, otherwise they will not take you seriously.
If you haven't noticed, it's that time of the year. New iPhones are out there. And here we have the new iPhone 6s Plus, which is the big iPhone that Apple makes. And the launch of this phone happens at a very critical time for Apple. Android has become the most dominant computing platform on the planet. While iPhones have never done before, they haven't even faced such stiff competition before. And due to certain perplexing decisions by Apple, the iPhone is really expensive this time around. It starts at Rs 62,000 for the smaller iPhone 6s and goes all the way up to Rs 92,000 for the big iPhone 6s Plus, which has 128 GB of storage. Let's find out if this phone is worth the money and cut the mustard. As is the case with most models with the S nomenclature, this phone looks identical to the one that was launched last year. And you're not mistaken, because more or less it's the same, but Apple is using a new type of aluminium casing which is stronger. Apple claims that it is used in aircrafts and it feels really sturdy. It's really solid. In fact, so much so that we accidentally dropped the phone from 5 feet and it came out pretty unscathed. Now, the amazing thing about the new iPhone 6s Plus is that it is the fastest phone on the planet, and that's not by a bit. It's by a country mile. According to some benchmarks, the new iPhone 6s Plus is as fast as a 2-year-old MacBook Air, and it is capable of some outlandish tasks that you would traditionally use a workstation for. Even for gaming, this is insane. It is the best smartphone that you can use for gaming. In fact, the graphics are so good that they'll rival that of the Xbox 360. We played a few games and they looked stunning on the iPhone 6s Plus. The big new feature with the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus is a new technology that Apple calls 3D Touch. Now, what is 3D Touch? 3D Touch is a new pressure-sensitive display technology which reacts to the degree of pressure applied on the screen. So, if I apply a bit of pressure to an icon, it's going to react and it's going to show me a contextual menu. If I do the same to the camera button out here, it gives me 4 options. If I want to take a selfie, I don't need to dive inside the menu of the camera. We can just choose if I want to use a selfie, if I want to take a normal photo, or maybe I want to take a slow motion video. If you're a photographer, you're going to love the new camera on the iPhone 6s Plus. Apple has really upgraded the camera resolution for the first time in 4 years. So now there's a 12 megapixel sensor, get an f2.2 aperture, and you also get optical image stabilization. That's a lot of jargon out here, but what you really need to know is that it's going to take beautiful photos. Apple has really worked on the color reproduction of the camera, and it really takes natural looking colors, and overall low light, daylight, the image quality is really good. It also takes beautiful 4K video, which is going to really catch the fancy of some videographers out there. The bigger deal to me will be the front-facing camera on the iPhone 6s Plus. Now it gets a 5 megapixel resolution, which anyways is really good, but the trick out here is that Apple has managed to figure out a way to light up the screen just like the flash on the back side. So when you're trying to take a selfie with your friend, you can use the screen as a flash to light up your photos, and overall it's going to take better selfies than a competing Samsung Galaxy smartphone. Now the one area which really worries people about the iPhone is its battery life. It lasted more than 30 hours on a consistent basis, and that happened because of the battery technology Apple is using and some features in iOS 9 which help save battery life. Overall the battery life is really good. Make no mistake, the iPhone 6s Plus is a really good smartphone. At the same time, the iPhone 6s Plus is a little difficult to recommend. Imagine, the 16GB model starts at a mind-boggling 72,000 rupees. The 64GB costs 82,000 rupees and the 128GB model costs 92,000 rupees. Now that's an amount which is even more than the MacBook Air. Get that. But still, if you're looking to buy the best Apple has to offer in the smartphone space, then this is the phone to get.
Well, time to see what's making news in the world of technology. It's time for some tech news. Apple Watch to launch in India on November 6th. The company has quietly updated its India website, and when you go to the watch page, the top left corner mentions it will be available from November 6th. The Apple Watch was announced in September 2014 along with the iPhone 6 and went on sale in April 2015 in a bunch of countries. According to research firm Canalys, Apple had shipped 4.2 million units of the Apple Watch in 3 months, overtaking the likes of Fitbit and Xiaomi. Facebook admits that its app is draining your iPhone's battery. A problem with Facebook's auto-playing videos meant the app was running in the background and draining battery. A new update fixes the problem. Users will have to get the latest version of the software as soon as possible. Users were alerted to the problem after installing Apple's iOS 9 software, which shows you how long apps are active and how much battery they use. YouTube is launching a new subscription service to rival the likes of Netflix and Spotify. Red will offer ad-free videos, unlimited music streaming, new original series and movies from top YouTubers like PewDiePie, Lily Singh and the Fine Brothers. It will cost around $9.99 a month and launches in the US on October 28 this year. Western Digital to buy SanDisk in $19 billion deal. Hard disk driver Western Digital Corporation agreed to buy SanDisk Corporation for $19 billion. The deal will increase its ability to make flash memory storage chip used in smartphones and tablets. Western Digital's move to buy SanDisk is the latest in a flurry of deals in the US semiconductor industry, which has been hit by a supply glut and cheaper products from China that have driven down memory chip prices. Alright, with that it's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed watching the episode. We'll be back next week with lots and little more of gadgets and gizmos.